Careful touch again. Touching ball, I would say. Once again, Judd Trump's got to be careful. He may try and put the cue ball down towards the left. Yeah, down towards the yellow pocket, top left corner pocket, just so he doesn't leave Ronnie a pot on that red near the left centre. First little mistake from Ronnie O'Sullivan. Didn't expect to kiss the blue with the red, and it's left the pot here for Judd Trump. How's his long ball game? Good test, this one. He's wondering, will he take this red on? But I don't think so. The red just above the black to the right. It is potable into that left corner pocket, but cue ball going into reds, not guaranteed to be on the black. Too risky.
No, you can see the respect they have for one another. All those meetings, all those big matches they played, both very respectful of each other's games. And of course, we saw the respect between them at the end of that World Final when they embraced for what seemed like forever. Thing is, O'Sullivan has set the benchmark, and players like Trump and all the players who have come through since are trying to emulate all his achievements. Not easy when he's still there. It'd be one thing if he'd retired. He's still there playing at the top of his game.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like Judd Trump will really relish every moment that he has playing Ronnie O'Sullivan in major finals. I don't know how long he's going to be around for, but the way he's playing, he could still be around for another good few years yet. We certainly hope so. Ronnie will open up the black here, but he's got a chance here. He can play a soft little screw and get that cue ball right tight to the black here. He could snooker Judd Trump on all reds here. If you can get it, just got to get it really almost touching the black here. That's pretty good. Yeah, good shot. Might play this right-handed. The red, it's to the left of the black. Could just come off the top cushion and try and nestle on that red. Could play it off two cushions as well. Similar shot. I thought you might play it right-handed. So the red just to the left of the black there. He's got a nestle right on it. Very good. Excellent shot. Don't think he's left the pot into the right centre. Nicely judged.
So an interesting start to this frame. We've been going 10 minutes, no balls potted. The 4 points, of course, was a foul. Obviously, a lot of the time where the balls are on the table dictate the sort of snooker you're going to see. Neither player looking to leave any sort of chance. As reds start to scatter.
Yeah, but it's just as intriguing, isn't it? And fascinating how they're almost like a little game of cat and mouse here. Now does this red pot into the left centre? No. Another safety shot back to the top cushion behind the black. At the moment, a slight advantage to Judd Trump. This is not easy. He's got to play this with, dig down on the cue ball, left hand side, try and get the cue ball back to where it is now, but not easy to get tight on the cushion here. He's played that nicely. Good shot, that. Once again, left with a tricky little shot, this off the left hand side cushion, try and nestle into a couple of reds. He's a bit concerned about it. Could try and take on this pot into the right centre, but it's very, very dangerous. He may feel that the safety shot is so tricky, he might as well take a pot on. He's gone for this into the right centre pocket. Doesn't know where the cue ball's gone, but it could be on the blue if he pots it. No. Very dangerous.
One.
Man, that was a lovely first shot, wasn't it?
8.
Cue ball had to travel quite some distance. We've got perfect angle on the black.
Nine.
Now has he got a nice angle to try and dislodge a couple of reds here, or does he go up for the loose red? Tried to dislodge a few, but he's okay. He's still on that loose red.
16.
Into the yellow pocket. He'll probably take the blue straight after that. And now he's just having a look to see what's available into this right corner pocket. Taking a few shots ahead here.
$17.
Now this could be the key shot. Brown or blue here. Down the left-hand side of the table for one or two reds available into this bottom right corner pocket.
$21.
Yeah, he's a bit close to that red, just under his body. Also, Leclerc getting himself into position, but O'Sullivan getting the rest out instead.
$22.
So far he's played the better snooker, but of course it could still be 2-2 with another slip up like we saw in the last frame. Looking at something in the audience.
Which one is it? All right. Yeah. Excuse me, little man. If you are on the island of the player, you need to keep still, please, with your feet at least. Thank you. Yeah. $29.
That was a lovely shot. Right through the cue ball. Bounced it off the side cushion perfectly for either red here.
$30.
He's played for the pink. Because the pink will open up the red just to the left of it. He's close to that red, he's got to be careful. Oh. Wiped its feet. Didn't intend
36.
to brush into the red because he's knocked it safe.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 36.
Yeah, it all made a difference, didn't it? He's not happy either. He's left himself with a more difficult red, which he's missed, and he sensed a real chance there to just take that early control I mentioned, winning the first mini session. As I say, it feels like he's been on top, really, but this could still end up 2 each.
One.
Total points at the moment, O'Sullivan 339, Trump 68. But Trump at the table, albeit a tough table.
Yeah, that was actually quite a good shot on that red there, because look at the angles he's left on the pink. You can disturb these 5 reds here now, bring them all into play, and that's exactly what he's done. Great shot.
7.
Couldn't have played that rest shot any better. This is a little bit awkward. I'd like to use his right hand here, but as you can see, he's got to bridge over the pink. He's got to watch the blue. Well played.
8.
He's going to get the cue ball cleaned. Well, it'd be a tall order to try and win the frame from this visit. But you see, you've got 4 safe reds almost. I won't be too concerned about them just yet. I'll try and clean up these reds around the pink and black. He's back in the frame. back
15.
at the table.
$16.
Just thinking a
23.
few shots ahead here, and this will cross Judd's mind, of course. That blue is not in a bad position for those two reds
24.
near the right middle. Maybe from the penultimate red down this end of the table, he may go up for the blue. So I take
30.
Just wondering, will he go up for the blue this time? He's looking at it. No, he's going to wait until the
31.
last open red. Nicely made, a nice angle.
37.
Once again, you see the eyes going towards the blue. He's got to leave a nice angle here when potting this now. And then depends on this
38.
little cannon that he's going to try and make. Try and bring at least one of these reds out into open play.
Oh, nicely done. That couldn't really have gone much better, could it?
43.
It's a sort of match where every moment of every frame feels big, but this particularly, because it could have been 4-0 on another day. O'Sullivan had the chances in the last frame and in this one.
44.
Well, he's got an angle on the blue. He may attempt one of these reds on the left-hand side cushion. Try and bring one of these into play. Needs a connection on this red. I think it's no good.
$49. John, 49.
Well, there was no attempt at the pot there. He tried to play a safety shot, but he hasn't played it very well. He's left this red for Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's back in the frame though, 9 points in the lead. He'd be disappointed with that shot. Oh, wow. He's left it.
Yeah, the serenity of the first couple of frames just slightly receded, hasn't it, from O'Sullivan?
One.
I think when he talks in interviews about not being bothered about winning and losing, he probably believes it in that moment, but he doesn't believe it when he gets out there. We've seen that already this afternoon. He wants to win as much as anybody.
You saw him drop his head there. Knew he overhit that straight away.
Judd Trump 6.
So Trump switching hands now. Not quite get the snooker. This is in the balance this far. 15 points in it.
Could play the cross double here into the opposite middle pocket. He certainly could. Crowd knew that was in on the right hand side straight away. It's always on that. Nicely executed, and he's got a lovely angle on the yellow to get right behind this red, which will suit a right-hander. Didn't suit Judd Trump, but it certainly suits Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Free. Four.
That was beautifully cued. Now needs an angle when potting this blue and the yellow to get close to that green. Can't play it left-handed, Ronnie.
9.
The green down the rail. He's got to try and get close to it.
$11.
Doesn't want a big bounce, wants a soft bounce off this cushion. It's not too bad. Now left-handed. Oh, this is difficult. But this could be a frame winner if it goes in. Bit of a stretch. Will he use the extension? Big shot this.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 11.
Yeah, as you say, it was a big shot indeed, and the green stays out. It didn't look entirely comfortable on it. What a frame then. By far the longest of the final so far, just coming up to 27 minutes. Judd Trump relieved 4 points in front.
Yeah, he's left the pot on the green, but the angle very acute. It's not easy to try and pot this and hold for the brown. You could try and play a shot where you can maybe slow down the cue ball by trying to make a connection on the brown on the way back off this ball cushion. Not straightforward, this. It's a tough enough pot, but trying to hold for the brown is just as tough. Will he play a little cannon on the brown? No, he's gone around the table. Oh, that is so unlucky.
Ronnie
Great
O'Sullivan
pot,
4.
trying to take the cue ball right around the table, back for the brown, but, well, that's very unfortunate.
Another twist in the tail in this frame. Points dead level then.
Free.
But O'Sullivan now with the balls on their spots, just checking. He needs brown, blue and pink.
7.
As I say, it does feel like he's been on top, but it could easily have been 2-2 there. Just sets the tone as the players go for the interval, how they're feeling. Trump would have been delighted with 2-2. O'Sullivan very disappointed. But the in-off has cost Judd Trump. A fascinating frame in this final. Ronnie O'Sullivan already walking out because the job is done.
Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
And there's no reason to believe the next 5 won't be hugely entertaining and significant as well.
That's a character miss. Sort of played it fairly gently. Much prefer when we can hit those with a little bit more pace than that, but as the pot level went in, he lost control of the cue ball as well. It's not the start on the resumption that Judd Trump wanted, leaving O'Sullivan a pretty handy chance here straight away. A lot of this game is played in the mind. If it had gone 2-2, then Judd would have been ecstatic to have been level, having been mostly outplayed. But when he should have gone 2-2, he'd have been disappointed to be behind. It was a lot of it's played between the ears, this game. Sullivan has been the better of the two players, without a shadow of a doubt.
9.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Neil. Mixed feelings, really, about the in-off on the green for Trump. It was cruelly unlucky, but I think O'Sullivan did deserve a pre-interval lead.
Well, the cue ball didn't have the
16.
customary fizz as it went into the bunch, which would take it in and possibly out a little bit, so his cueing is not ideal here. But he still played that shot well. Judd looks a little uncomfortable in his chair, doesn't he, though? Just taking a look. It is a long match. Just got a glimpse of him there, and sometimes it can be quite, you know, you can be fooled by body language, but
23.
He's not started this final in any way how he would have hoped. And he knows that he could be running away from him if the next hour goes badly.
$24. $31. $32.
Well, here's a situation with the red near the top left pocket. He can probably afford to screw into the bunch, knowing that there's always going to be that reserve red as backup if the split doesn't work. But the split has worked all right.
37.
All boxes were ticked there.
Yeah, in the pre-match analysis, the guys were saying that one of the keys to that shot is not only splitting the reds, but keeping the cue ball in mid-table, and no one does it any better. This is a glorious opportunity.
Yes, Phil, it seems to me not dissimilar to a break-off in 9-ball where the cue ball is key. On the split, it stays in the centre of the table. The reds, or all the balls as it is in Paul, just seem to spread accordingly. Always nice to have a red that's there for you. The other end of the table, if something was to go wrong.
45.
I was using that backup red now. Oh, wow. Well,
Ronnie
it was meant
O'Sullivan,
to be a
45.
backup red. It can sometimes just flick a little bit of side on these. And against the net, the cue ball will start to head in the opposite direction. And that's why perhaps he missed it thick.
One of the easiest balls you will ever see an elite player miss.
One.
And now a pressure shot. 3-1 down. 44 adrift in frame 5. Cue ball a little too close to the side cushion for comfort.
Eight. Nine. Fourteen. Judd, 14.
Well, they both missed one now, and a little shake of the hand from Judd. I'm not sure what the gesture was, but he had slightly awkward cueing. Whether that was a bad contact, I don't know. He looked more than a bit disappointed, understandably. So, when he misses an easy one, ultimately Judd lets him off the hook for that miss. Better shot than it looked in there. Okay, it was a plant, but he struck the cue ball well. Let's get the feeling he's one positional shot away here from getting another frame on the board.
Free. Four. $11.
This could be a little dinky, a little tricky.
$12.
It was 2-visit snooker in the first frame, and it looks like being 2-visit snooker in the 5th.
$17.
Yes, red colour from here.
$18.
Well, he's discovered something on the cue ball, perhaps.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Look, you can tell it's a good match because
25.
what's more significant are the odd mistake made by either player in amongst all the good stuff.
26.
And when you know that there's a little mistake made, like that green that Judd missed, and went off rather in the previous frame, and then the chance he missed there, you know that coming around it, some very good snooker being played.
$33. $33 and the frame.
Errors are being committed by both players amidst the brilliance. And it's
Frame 6.
Judd Trump, who's sailed through this tournament thus far, is struggling today. And if there's one player in the game you don't want to struggle against, it's Ronnie O'Sullivan. Look at the pot success rate, 95% from O'Sullivan, around what you'd expect really. 81 for Trump, well below his norm.
Ronnie had potted 70 out of 70 of the first shots that he attempted. Then he missed one right at the end of frame 2, which didn't mean anything. So he was right up there from the very first shot. So he applied pressure on Trump from almost Trump's break-off shot.
Today, O'Sullivan looking to win a record-extending 4th Champion of Champions and his 77th professional tournament. As for Trump, he's trying to join O'Sullivan as the only player to successfully defend this ever more prestigious title.
One.
Well, it's not an easy table to get the reds open from. Playing all the way round on the bottom red. Ooh. Jaws in the middle pocket were not part of the plan.
6.
Amazing, isn't it, that he's hit both jaws. Gibble just checked across the middle of the table and now he's not on the bottom one. Been that sort of an afternoon for him.
Looking at this planter middle, but it seems to me from the overhead shot it's aiming towards that left hand near jaw.
Yes, if the reds are touching, he can send it further up. He doesn't like it, and he certainly didn't even know it was there until he walked around having not got the other shot right, positional shot.
6.
He's not hurting O'Sullivan at the moment enough, not punishing him, not doing anything to put fear into him with his own scoring power. One or two slight gasps because he never went anywhere near the pot. He tried to send that cue ball up the table as he managed. It's a bit of a concern when you have to play the bunch of reds in safety, as Judd may have to do here, given that they could spread anywhere near pockets, over pockets. Can't play it very thin either in case he hits the black on the way back round. Hit them reasonably firmly. That's exactly the problem, isn't it? I mean, the red's quite close to the pocket, but also a little bit close to the cushion. But Judd was forced into a somewhat risky safety shot there.
If this red was dead on the cushion, it wouldn't go, but I think it just bounced in a minuscule way. Enough. For it to wriggle in.
Well, the target red was always going to be the red on the black spot to try and make the black spot free, but as you see, has just let the cue ball run a fractionally too far.
Six.
Not only no position, knocking a red towards that middle pocket means that gaining a really telling safety here is extremely tough.
Yes, he can't take the risk of leaving the red near the middle. So I guess if he's playing up to bulk, it'll be to the right-hand side as we look. Guaranteed the cue would end up
Ronnie
in the one place. Trump can't pot the red.
key frame, this, because if O'Sullivan wins it, he would be guaranteed to lead going into this evening's concluding session with 3 frames left this afternoon.
One.
Well, it's a big fluke. It's only a big fluke if you can get in behind a colour. Just trickled towards the middle pocket. I didn't think it was going to reach. I was watching the red near the pocket into the corner as the other one disappeared. Well, he's going for the pot here. Oh, that is a sort of a confident man and someone that is not frightened to take advantage of a fluke, which of course you have to do at this game.
And Neil, something he's done twice already this week. He made a 60 from a fluke in the 3rd frame against Rob Milkins in the 1st round, went on to win 4-2.
6.
And then last night in the semi-finals, opening frame, fluked the black outrageously across the ball cushion, made 89 to set the pattern against Fan Zhengyi.
Had to hit it hard and stun it round,
13.
widen the angle to get himself away from that red on the left side. Cue ball just jumped a little bit, but he was queuing down on it, and that's the reason, but he forced it wide.
14.
Well, that big frame that he was on about, Phil, it could be going the way of O'Sullivan if he continues. A long way to go, but it's a good chance now. He's been by far the more
21.
dangerous of the two in amongst them.
22. $29.
Didn't intend to pop this red to middle, but suddenly presented itself and he was stopped in his tracks, licking his lips.
$37.
No, he missed a similar
Ronnie
red to
O'Sullivan,
that in the
37.
3rd frame on 52 by overcutting it. Clearly, he over-adjusted and missed it on the other side of the pocket.
I was thinking exactly the same thing. Very similar, but a different way of missing both times. But again, the big moment will only be a big moment if Judd takes advantage of it.
Six. 7.
A little bit of a deceleration there, almost overcut it. Holding mouth stuff for a
14.
brief second.
$15.
No one's better at the powered blue to take the cue ball in and out of bulk when you're on the
20.
incorrect side of the blue than Judd Trump, but even that was exceeding his limits.
Well, he didn't get any left-hand side on that. It was all topspin.
Judd 20.
Just didn't get any side on this. It sort of didn't really fizz off that second cushion or the first cushion. It just comes square off it, and that's why he lost direction and ended up hitting the yellow.
Foul.
Ooh.
Miss.
There wasn't much room,
Judd
as you can
6.
really work out from the fact that he hit the pink. This is one of these which would be an awkward replacement. I think they've got the right person in the job, though, because I think Marcel Eckhart is as good as it gets referee-wise on the circuit. But it's always difficult to replace the balls. The cue ball will be difficult because there is just a sliver of the red sticking out, and that's got to be replaced accordingly.
Just saw there Marcel being given guidance by another hugely experienced referee and official, Brendan Moore.
To your right. Keep going, keep going.
Pardon?
Keep going a little bit more. It's margins.
Okay, Ronnie. Yep.
A tough job carried out quickly and efficiently.
What's the damage? The red has not left the pocket very far. They're contemplating cushion first.
One.
Good shot. I've seen those missed actually. He made it look simple, but very often they make contact with the red, but not quite the right amount to pot it. And there is an argument this frame is as crucial as anything we're going to see all day. If Sullivan wins it, because he has made a couple of errors.
11.
22 in front. So he will need
12.
both reds. This is frame ball, and hard to imagine it won't find gravity.
19.
The two lengthiest frames of this final so far have been particularly hurtful for Judd Trump. The fourth when he went in off in potting the green, and now this one when he's had his chances.
Yes, it's one snooker, but clearly when this goes in, it'll be 3 snookers, different ball game.
$25. 27.
2 brilliant players, but this frame, as I said, he's been a little scrappy. It was more important for Judd to win it than Ronnie, I think, but it hasn't worked out. I'm just seeing a disappointed, concerned, slightly dejected body language from Judd Trump. He played in the World Final, of course, which O'Sullivan won only in the spring.
45.
And the world champion here is now halfway to being the champion of champions. Ronnie. The name of Ronnie O'Sullivan is engraved 3 times on the Champion of Champions trophy already. Well, at the end of the day, it'd be a case of
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
ROS times 4.
One.
He's played that well. Just got the feeling, looking at O'Sullivan at the end of that last frame, you know, he's got himself to 5-1, and he's almost waiting for Judd to, you know, what have you got for me, Judd? You know, what are you going to do to get back into this match? Because I think a couple of frames since the mid-session interval, he's expected more from Judd than Judd has delivered. Now at 5-1, he really has to find something in these remaining 3 frames. Almost like O'Sullivan saying, show me what you've got. Because this is a time when, yes, he's going to be behind. It's just a question of whether he can pull something out of the wreckage here and make this close tonight. He loses 2 of the next 3 frames, he's way back.
$11. 12. $19. Can do, yeah, no problem.
Just asked for the black to be respotted. Of course, if he was to play another shot, it couldn't be respotted then, even if the black wasn't moved. If he was to roll the red in and ask for the black to be respotted, it would be too late. It's got to be before another shot has been played. Judd thought that the black was going to be possible.
20.
After 2 respots, it still wasn't. But the red that was in the way is the one he'd like to move by getting on it from this blue.
$25.
I'd like to think that he played it, but I'm pretty sure he didn't. Played around a couple of cushions into the bunch there.
$26.
How do you get the reds open now? He's got no angle on the blue. There's seemingly no plants in there. There's nothing that he can do to get these reds spread from his next colour. I mean, there's a shot on the brown, but goodness, it's difficult, especially for a left-hander reaching across. So I think he's just got to walk away, which is something you don't see very often from these top players in this day and age. No real option of getting the reds open, taking the points and running.
Judd Trump, 31.
Trump's scoring power restricted in this session. He's only made 1/2 century, 51 in the 3rd frame. His quality table time has been quite limited. For Trump, this is all very different from 12 months ago when he beat another famed member of the class of 1992 in the final. John Higgins won comfortably 10-4. Nothing comfortable about this right now for Trump. It's a dogfight for him, trying to get some form of respectability back in the scoreline. If you think about it, Neil, Trump only lost 5 frames in the tournament as a whole last year. He's lost 5 frames this afternoon, and maybe more to come.
Yeah, certainly for a period it appeared he was getting the upper hand in these finals against O'Sullivan. Think of the Masters final, which really told us what a brilliant player he'd become, beating Ronnie at
Foul enemies,
the Ali
Ronnie
Pally,
O'Sullivan.
which is his sort of
Yeah.
place he's had so much success. And then those 3 Northern Ireland finals, 2 in Belfast, 1 in lockdown in MK. Beat him every time, 9-7. But then the world final has redressed the balance, I think, somewhat. So he goes into this
Can we check, Brendan?
still thinking about
Fine.
perhaps that match.
Yep.
No, he's happy with the balls replaced.
You think a fraction this way? No problem.
saying to our left as we look, which of course is not in Judd's favour, so he's being honest. Now he's saying back the other way. These are very difficult replacements, these ones. The one earlier was difficult in the previous frame. They are so fractional. Oh, that's roll.
Foul on the miss, Ronnie
Seems
O'Sullivan.
to turn right, that ball did. That's a very strange thing happened there. Now watch this. This definitely is the cushion that seems to turn right.
One.
And the worst news of all is that he left that red, goodness me. Can he exploit that mistake, if it was indeed a mistake from Trump? Maybe the table drifted a bit.
Oh, brilliant from O'Sullivan. Just subtly into the bunch, seeing the angle, exploiting it to the full.
Nine. $16.
This is the O'Sullivan wheelhouse. Yes, sometimes he does fail in this kind of position. He's not infallible,
17.
but far more often than not, he capitalizes 100%.
$24. 25. $32. $33.
Predicting modern snooker is a fool's errand. But I'll tell you what, when I first saw the way this table was playing on Monday, it did run through my mind that O'Sullivan would relish it. And that's just
38.
how it's turned out.
39.
Yes, it's been conducive to good scoring in and around the pink and black spot. Table's run nicely. Judd might be seeing it a little differently after that previous shot where it may have drifted, but it was only a fraction
46.
and it was played the kind of pace where they do often just move offline slightly.
47.
But at the time, I don't know that he saw it as a bigger mistake as it's turning out to be. And he played a couple of good shots at the start of this break, the red and then the black to the middle. Now
54.
it's virtually plain sailing. He's two of these reds with colours.
$55.
So just the colour here and the red. And this is looking a little ominous and very worrying if you're a fan of Judd Trump.
60.
As I said, I think
One.
O'Sullivan has kind of invited Trump to raise the stakes, raise his game. And he hasn't done it. Got in early in this frame and left himself no way of getting the
66.
reds open. And that 31 was not going to hurt Ronnie O'Sullivan.
67. $74.
And just enough on the table for what would be yet another
76.
O'Sullivan century. It would be his second of the afternoon. He's 6th of the tournament. And he's 44th nil in the Champion of Champions alone
79.
over the years.
$83. $88.
Don't know what the music the DJ is going to play between frames.